Hey, what's wavy, baby? Oh, welcome to the Wavy Cave from Wavy Wednesdays. And on this week's installment, I'd like to switch it up a little bit. Try to do something that I haven't done before, which is read a quote from James Baldwin, right? And what Mr. Baldwin says is, I do not mean to be sentimental about suffering, but people who cannot suffer can never grow up, can never discover who they are. That man who is forced each day to snatch his identity out of the fire knows if he survives his effort, and even if he doesn't survive it, something about himself and the human life that no school on earth, and indeed no church, can teach. He achieves his own authority, and that is unshakable. This is because in order to save his life, he is forced to look beneath appearances, to take nothing for granted, and to hear the meaning behind the words. Very poignant words, very beautiful stuff from Mr. James Baldwin. And we're going to break it down a little bit, right? Because I believe that we exist in a world today where people are unable to suffer. And like he says, this is not to be sentimental about suffering or to encourage or excuse man-made suffering, right? There's no shortage of man-made disasters that are happening around the world today that people have to endure, right? And they're able to take these principles with them in these man-made circumstances, but these are not the circumstances that I'm referring to when I speak about suffering, right? Suffering is a much deeper spiritual thing, and it's something that is almost absent from Western society, right? Like our young people between like 25 and 35 are almost unable to suffer. And it's creating a sort of like spiritual vacuum in our world today that I would like to address, right? Because it's like we're all locked in this arrested development, this perennial pubescence, right? That we are frustrated with, but don't know how to exit because we are not able to suffer and to grow and to become who we are through that process of rubbing up against something, through the process of challenging the status quo. Because the status quo has got to a point where it is so good at being challenged, it just absorbs the challenging into its like arms. Like the Black Lives Matter movement to me is one of the perfect examples of that, because they raised so much money and accomplished absolutely nothing for Black people at large. And that really, really frustrates me. But hey, that's a video for a different day. We're not going to talk about that too much. What we are going to talk about is how to suffer correctly, right? Because there are ways to suffer incorrectly. For example, the Protestant work ethic, right? And the American society has sort of co-opted suffering and made it like a pious thing to do, a divine thing to do, right? So, you're not working hard enough if you're not suffering. God wants you to suffer so that you can have your fruits in the next life, that kind of thing, you know? I actually went to a Protestant church service last Sunday, and the pastor was talking about, doesn't matter if you work 8 hours, 10 hours, because all your relationships are with God and you're working for God's glory, not your glory. So just give your boss all your time and your money and your effort and stuff like that. And again, that is not really the suffering that I'm referring to. That's a way that the system has co-opted the true way of suffering to make this like Frankenstein's monster of suffering for some sort of like religious gain, right? Which is just complete bullshit, in my opinion, right? Suffering is a personal thing, you know? It's overcoming your own personal insecurities or your own shortcomings, and it's really not a public-facing thing, right? Because everybody's got their own little demons that they're dealing with. Everybody has trials and tribulations that they have to overcome. Everyone's trials and tribulations don't look the same, but it's necessary to become like a person with some kind of gumption, a person with some kind of backbone, right? Which is why a lot of rich people or Nepo babies struggle to have like kids that can carry on their legacy because they were raised too pampered, you know? And they have no real world experience suffering and overcoming adversity, which is really, really, really paramount in becoming an adult. And also, if you want to make any kind of interesting art or movies or film or music, you should have some sort of experience, some sort of trial, setback, and overcoming that you went through. Like, that's basically what every biopic is about, right? The guy has a dream. People say, no, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, you're young, you're ugly, whatever, right? And he's like, no, I want to fight for my dreams. And he fights for his dreams, and he becomes Bob Dylan, right? Woohoo! And everybody's happy. But they don't care before Bob Dylan's Bob Dylan, right? They're just like, get the fuck out of my face. And that is where suffering is necessary. That is where you really have to dig deep. You feel me? You got to pull your identity out of the fire and know who you are. You're able to speak with your own authority. You're going to rely on the government or a school or money or whatever to back up your authority. You have authority based on who you are and what you've been through. You've been through some real shit. And who don't like a real nigga who's been through some real shit? You feel me? But through all that, it's very important to remember that your perspective is everything, right? The way that you view your suffering, if you're resentful that you have to go through this and that you have to suffer and that you're poor or, you lost a leg or whatever like that, that is the result that's going to come out of your suffering, right? Is resentment and more bitterness, right? I saw a picture of LeVar Ball with his leg cut off, right? After a surgery or something like that. And this nigga is all smiles, bro. That is the perspective that I'm talking about. Like, if I was in that position, my leg cut off, I'm salty as shit. Like, my foot is gone. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, no, I'm not going to be smiling. But he's obviously suffered in a way that's a lot more productive than my way, because not only has he raised 3, complete baller, athlete, rapper children, he's also able to face that adversity with joy in his face and in his life, And you can see it in the fruits of his labor. His kids, bro. Those niggas are straight icons, right? Shout out to LeVar Ball. He deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore of fathers, right? He's the first inductee into the Fatherhood Hall of Fame, the wayvydon Fatherhood Hall of Fame that I just invented just now, right? I've said a lot of things. The TLDR is, don't suffer unnecessarily. Do not excuse suffering that happens unnecessarily in the world, but understand that suffering is necessary and will happen to you, and that you should be able to deal with that suffering and channel that suffering into something beautiful, right? Whether that is just knowledge that you can share with other people, whether that is a nice passage like James Baldwin, whether that's a painting, whether that's music, whether that's just going out and, shooting the shit, venting with somebody over some beers and making that unpleasant experience more palatable, more pleasant. That is what we need to be able to do to grow, right? The last 100 years in human history, we've seen unprecedented growth. The next 100 years are not going to be the same, and there's going to be a lot more suffering, especially as we've seen how good things can be and how good they're not going to be in the future, right? So we're going to have to develop some kind of coping mechanisms, some skills, some suffering skills, if you want to call it that, right? And we got to do it together. So if you have any suffering skills that you'd like to share with people, please comment them down below. And let's start building a database of suffering skills so that we can all suffer together and suffer slightly less. A joy shared is twice a joy. Sorrow shared is half a sorrow, right? So with that, I will leave you from the Wavy Cave this week. Wavy Wednesdays, only on wayvydon. But don't forget, we've got a lot more stuff coming up after this segment in just 1 second. So please stick around for that. Stay tuned and stay wavy.
So, you were telling me you're more so an energy-based artist. What does that entail? And through your journey of art, when did you realize the power of art? Meaning, when did you realize that art could be used to express a different type of message? Testing, testing. It's Wavy Demon. One solution that we've thought of here at wayvydon, produced by the Wavy Ones, is to engage with the youth, you know? If that interview wasn't important to you, you don't understand the core principles of a society. It's very important to engage with the youth and to see what they're thinking. It's also good to let them know that their voices are being heard, because then they feel more responsible for the land that they grew up in. Stop the pollution.
That's kind of what I'm talking about, you know? It's like you are, because like you didn't identify with that sensation. You recognize it as something apart from you that you're experiencing, that's coming from within you.
Yep.
But some people don't think that way. They think I am the headache.
Yeah.
In a less literal and literal sense.
No, in a literal sense.
Right? But also in terms of like, if you're like psychosis, or if you're experiencing depression, or if you're experiencing sadness or anger, or literally experiencing anything, it's very easy for some people to identify with that thing and then become that thing, as opposed to seeing yourself as a separate entity from that thing.
I'm gonna spit when I come back. I'm gonna grab the order. Fuck it. I'll just grab the order.
Oh, yeah. Hello. What's wavy? You already know the vibes. I wanted to release the season 5 finale today. But as you can see, this is not the season 5 finale. But I promise it's gonna come out next week, okay? So today I'm gonna show Monsieur a couple things, and we're gonna talk about it. Because the point of the finale is to like contextualize wavy, what it means, and what stay wavy, what the definition is, you know? Because I think sometimes I can get a little obtuse and it can be hard to understand what I'm trying to say, you know, because I'm an artist, man. I gotta do the artist thing, right? So yeah, hopefully having more literal conversations like this can help bridge the gap a little bit, so I can do my artist thing, but then it's not like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? This nigga's just putting a whole bunch of fucking footage on the fucking John, rock music, this bitch screaming in the back. I don't know what the fuck is going on, nigga. This shit is, a lot's happening right now, but a lot's happening in the world. So like, how I gotta put that in the art, man. I gotta channel it into the art, man. Yeah. August 27th, wayvydon Season 5 finale will begin. It's gonna be a 5-part extravaganza. I'm really excited. I really, really am. And of course, the reason that we're delaying it a week is so that we can get you guys the best product. You feel me? Coming off the back of the last video, which was, I think, the highest viewed for the season so far, even though it's, you know, not a good video, but hey, I'm proud of myself for my 92 views, or 93, whatever it is. Because the thing is, bro, once niggas up, that shit gonna blow up, bro. Like, that's just tough. I'm really not worried about it, because I know this shit's hard. I was just talking about the last video, how nobody's viewing it, but I'm not worried about it, because I know that shit's tough, and once enough people see it, they're gonna realize it's just gonna blow up. Yeah. It's like a time bomb. The whole YouTube channel is like a time bomb, because once niggas realize
Oh,
Once
yeah.
niggas get it, that's the issue. The issue is the video. The issue is you niggas. Y'all don't fucking get it, nigga.
I forgot to tell you, this is the second official episode of Wavy Food Review. So the first time,
Oh?
I went to 11, that one restaurant I sent you the food of. Got
Yeah.
a couple videos on my phone.
Nice.
Now it's halal.
Wavy Eats.
Yeah. That's going to be what it's called. Wavy Eats.